I'm Georgia Williams. This is the Investing News Network, and we're here at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. And joining me today is Kimberly Ann, founder, CEO, director, and president of Lahontan Gold, which trades on the TSXV at ticker symbol LG and on the OTCQB at LGCXF. Thanks for joining me today, Kimberly.
Thanks for having me.
Could you give us a little rundown on the company and what you're exploring for?
Absolutely. Well, we have amazing projects in the Walkerland, Nevada, best jurisdiction in the world. Our Santa Fe mine was in production from 88 to 94, heap leach, open pit style mining, so low cost operations. They managed to make money at $350 gold, and you can imagine what we can make with it now. We have a current resource and PA out on it with 2 million ounces in the ground. We have the third highest grade of gold and silver in the Nevada Great Basin region right now. So good grade, low cost operation. We're in the middle of our permitting right now. We anticipate to have our permits by Q1 of 2027. And we're super stoked because we're going to be building this mine soon. So
exciting. You recently kicked off a drilling at the Windfall slab and have now released results from Slab and York. What stood out to you most of these initial assays, and how does this shape the confidence heading into the next round?
Well, Slab and Calvada, I'm not sure where you got Windfall because we don't have Windfall, but Slab, Calvada, and York are 3 historic pits on the property. Santa Fe is the 4th historic pit. All the drilling has been very strategic in drilling in and around these pits, dragging the pit shells down. Of course, with the numbers changing with gold and silver prices, it's making so much more economic that you didn't think about 5 years ago. For example, our last model was done at 1950 gold. So even when we run the models and drag the pit shells down to $2,500 gold, for example, you're capturing a lot more ounces. You can drop the cutoff grades, etc. So these are really strategic holes. They're really thick intervals. They're exactly what we expect them to be. We still have more drill results coming out in these areas. About 6 months ago, we picked up 27 more claims over at York, which has allowed us to drill more over there because we were backed up against our border, so that pit can expand. So very, very important knowledge for the company. But for permitting, it's fantastic because it's just, knowledge is king here. We're doing a lot of met work on all of this to increase our recoveries for mine life. So once we redo our PEA over the summer months after we get all the drilling back, people are going to see a significant change in numbers and in a very good way.
That is really exciting.
Yeah.
And the project represents a key step in advancing Lahontan's gold strategy. How do you balance exploration upside and the realities of moving a project toward potential resource definition and economic?
That's a good question. So last year, before the holidays, we received our plan of operations, which is the big drill permit that allows us to drill project-wide. All the drilling today has been under a notice of intent, which is 5 acres of disturbance. That being said, we've been able to get a lot of bang for our buck there because we can also drill on our haul roads and our pits, on our patenting claims. So all the drilling to date has been very focused in and around the pits so that we're adding ounces to the mine life. The exploration upside is ridiculous. We have 28.6 square kilometers. I have a map with stars all over it from my lovely geos. I want to drill 25 different targets. I mean, it's got massive upside. But our choice 2.5 years ago to head towards production, meaning start doing our permitting, was strategic in that we know how big it can be. Mm-hmm. But to me, I'm a business person. I want to be in production using our own cash flow to see how big it can be. So having that plan of operation permit in hand allows us to have lots of flexibility. And the result of that is we're going to have 3 rigs out the property between now and April. So we're actually going to be exploring, but balancing all the permitting work we're doing.
Right, and you're talking about permitting, and that was sort of one of the tenets of this new administration was to help expedite and fast-track projects.
I mean, it's kind of interesting and it's kind of funny. I mean, it is helping if you're a new permit going down the permitting, line. But for us, we're so deep in the weeds in this process that we're at the higher level management that is looking at our files. So it really doesn't affect us so much, and it is quite motivating for the Bureau of Land Management and the state level, but they still don't have enough staff, right? So you still need to have staff to get, to expedite all this stuff. That being said, we have very good relationships. We're very fortunate. We meet on a biweekly basis, and we all show up with our hit list of things done, which is why we've been so productive of, with the permitting so far. So that's really good for us. And look, to build this thing, it's not a big ask. It's about $120 million. And we'll be looking at taking mostly debt because the payback is such a short timeline. So it's less dilution to our shareholders. So I'm getting really excited about raising that money because it's kind of the fun things I like to do. But yeah, we're fortunate in that we've been working in Nevada for 25 years and we know all the people. I have them on speed dial and they answer. So not everybody can say that when you're talking to the BLM and they actually pick up the phone.
Right.
So we're lucky.
Yeah. And, we talked a little bit about gold being on this, record tear. How does that make your, project more alluring to investors?
Well, I would say, of course, we're undervalued compared to other ones, and I will say that last year we were up 1,200%. So yeah, that's a great start. But what I do like about what I see is we have a constant uptick in our share price. It's not gold's up $200 and you go sky high and then you go back down. It's not random movement because people are excited about gold. It's consistent upticks of success on the ground and what we're actually accomplishing, which is to me more important than shooting up and being, a dollar stock overnight type thing, because I don't know how sustainable that would be. But also, we have tremendous liquidity. And I think in the junior space, if you don't have liquidity, I don't want to buy a stock that's not liquid because it's a high risk, part of the business. So I think giving flexibility for clients to come in and out of your stock is the most important part because they can dive in, dive out, and add more. They have that. So
yeah. And I was wondering if you could just talk to us a little bit about jurisdiction and how important it is, for your company.
Jurisdiction. I just take a deep breath with Nevada because, I've worked in Peru for a long time and it's lovely and it's great food and great mineralization. Getting a permit, not so great. I mean, I had a company for 24 months, sold it for 18-fold and didn't even have a drill permit and spent $2 million on just social, right? And, an NOI in Nevada you can get in 2 weeks' time. So you can actually explore a little bit and see if you want to keep it, right? So Nevada and Utah are tied for first place, and it speaks loudly because, I was just at a dinner with the governor of Nevada because I think knowing your politicians is really important in case you need their help sometimes. And it was very evident being in that room that they were all pro-mining and wanting to help it any way they can. So it's nice to be in a place where people get it. There's great workforce. We also don't have any First Nations around our area. It's so dry there. Nobody lived there back in the day. It's still, the closest town is Hawthorne, which is an old retirement community. It's the largest arms depot in the world. So everybody that works in that community basically works for us. So, it's a win-win.
It's a good jurisdiction.
Yeah, it's a great jurisdiction. I love it. And it's close to my home. I live in California. I live 3 hours from the project. So every time I'm home, I run out there and take video and see what's going on and talk to my drillers and, fun part.
Perfect. I know 2026 just started, but what can investors be on the lookout for from Lahontan Gold?
More drill results. We did drill 8 holes over at West Santa Fe, which we haven't done yet. So that's very exciting because it will be a satellite coming online in the future. It's only 13 kilometers away. So we look at this as a major low-cost operation because we can choose to just truck the rock or crush it and heap leach and load the carbon. Regardless, it's a win-win. We haven't seen the results yet, but it was a mine back in the day for silver, which now is kind of making me laugh that silver is over $100. I'm like, oh, that silver credit is going to be pretty exciting. But, if it was mined in the 30s for silver, it was high grade, right? So we're excited to see those results come back, and hopefully they'll be what we expect it to be, matching the historic data we have. And then I will go directly into baseline studies because we know it's still going to take 2 years to permit it, even on a lower scale. But it's a big land package. It's a lookalike to Santa Fe with more silver added to it. So, it's really exciting. And then we have our resource report will be coming out this year, hopefully in the next 12 weeks. And then we'll have another PEA, and we have 3 drill rigs. So It's a very busy time for Lahontan Gold Corp. And I'm going to be on the road talking to people like yourself all over the world. So it's going to be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned sort of the historic mining that went on there. Would you guys be considering reprocessing tailings from there if it became
Well, that's why
economical?
we're bringing out a sonic rig in March, April, which I haven't worked with a sonic rig before. I thought it would be less expensive because it's like vibrational style drilling, so you're not hitting the liner. And basically, we have all these heap leach pads, historic pads sitting there that we've been monitoring for 35 years as part of our mine closure plan. But all of a sudden, you start thinking about, like, okay, well, how much is left there? Because the cutoff grade was 0.54. So we think there's a lot there, and it's already crushed, sitting right next to where the new one's going to go, the heap leach pad. So we'll bring out that rig and test the zones and see what we get. But I mean, that's just beyond the low-hanging fruit, that everything that was waste is now becoming ore. So I hope we have the cycle for at least 5 years, because it's really exciting time to be a part of the industry, and we just have a perfect project in a great jurisdiction. So
Thank you so much for talking with me today,
Thank you
Kimberly
for
Ann.
having me.
And thanks for sharing Lahontan's story.
thank you.
I'm Georgia Williams. This is the Investing News Network.